is indisputable that the founding fathers of the United States and most of these states intended to create gardens of government to grow the individual liberties of citizens. We forget that government is actually always been conceived, at least, as a way to achieve God-given natural rights. And that's reflected in both the United States Constitution and in Washington's Constitution. Washington's Constitution was also written to protect those natural rights given to individuals. The preamble to the Washington State Constitution reads, "We, the people of the state of Washington, grateful to the supreme ruler of the universe for our liberties, do ordain this Constitution." The first section of Washington's Constitution states that all political power is inherent in the people and that governments are established to protect and maintain individual rights. Washington's Constitution seeks to protect individual persons not only from their government, but also from those corporations and special interests which the Washington founders knew had previously corrupted governments and would likely corrupt them thereafter. In the American Revolution, not only were there government restrictions on the people, and we always talk about the Tea Party, where the tax on tea, but there were ecclesiastical restrictions placed on American churches by the Church of England. And so among the untold stories that have been more recently covered is the role religion and the spiritual movement played in helping the American cause. There were pastors that took up guns, and church congregations that worked in order to foster a spiritual movement, and they equated the revolution with a struggle on behalf of God.
Before its foundation, America first flew the Appeal to Heaven flag. It was the banner George Washington used on his Navy ships to signal that their only hope against British rule and religious persecution was an appeal to heaven.
The time for negotiation is past. The actions of the British Army at Lexington and Concord speak plainly enough. If we wish to regain our natural-born rights as Englishmen, then we must fight for them.
I have looked for our rights in the laws of nature and can find them only in the laws of political society. I have looked for our rights in the Constitution of the English government and found them there. Our rights have been violated, Mr. Adams. That is beyond dispute. We must provide a plan to convince Parliament to restore those rights. Do we wish to become aliens to the mother country?
Mr. Dickinson.
My wife and young children live on the main road to Boston, fewer than 5 miles from the full might of the British Empire.
Should they sit and wait for Gage and his savages to rob them of their home?
their possessions, their very lives.
A lot of people know that I do foreclosure work and I fight on behalf of the people. And I feel very strongly that the courts do not provide equal justice for the people that the government and the corporations are cooperating to get people out of their homes. The notion of banks being able to come in, falsify documents, and just take homes is plainly wrong. You will see that there are groups with regard to malicious prosecutions. They're trying to do away with prosecutorial and police immunity, where they actually violate laws and violate rights, where prosecutors actually admit knowingly violating people's rights. And you watch the media in any regard, and you know that on average, 3 people a day are beaten inappropriately by police. You've got to wonder about our justice system. When we go back to the Constitution and we realize that the very purpose of our government was to secure and protect every individual's God-given, inalienable natural rights, we've got to see that we're going down the wrong path. We have to return back to the garden. We don't want to give our farms over to the corporations and special interests. We want to till them ourselves, and we want to put the special interests in their place.